Hi, chat. Ugh. Well. I am not feeling any better today. So we're here now. It's definitely worse than yesterday. I definitely feel worse than yesterday. Yesterday was like a blip where I somehow felt slightly better. But yeah, no, I had a rough fucking night. So we're here now. I need to clean my room. Also, there's like, I don't know what's happening outside. Anyway, I need to clean my room. It is a mess in here. Absolute disaster. So, little beans. He's being scary right now. Okay, maybe not that scary. He let me touch his beans. Hey, sir. Just let me touch your beans and give you pets. Oh no, he's attacking them. Now he's attacking. Now he's boiling. That's boiling action. So this is actually boiling. Those are bunny kicks. Those are little bunny kicks that you're giving me, and you're biting. You're biting me, and those are bunny kicks. Oh, are you a vampire? Oh my god, he's a vampire kitten. He's a scary vampire kitten. Oh, scary vampire kitten. Hi. You're scary? Okay. I'll let you be scary then. You can be scary over there. He's crazy. Look at his little vampire teeth marks he left in my hoodie. Munchie, you left little vampire teeth. Let's go keep them. So, my plan is I'm just gonna take it easy today. I'm just gonna take it super easy. I gotta clean my room. I'm gonna do that very slowly because I don't wanna like overdo it and like push myself too far with like that. This is not coffee, by the way. I had to make myself a tea this morning. Made myself mint. Okay, the fucking thing. Anyway, I made myself a mint tea. Mint, Moroccan mint tea. Yum. Listen. Dude, that stream was... Oh my god, that one was so funny. God. I had that, like, scar on this finger for so long. Thankfully, it's finally gone now. I have, like, a little divot in my finger where it was. But yeah... Hello. Ugh. And then my wrist really hurts. Also my foot, I don't know what the fuck happened, but like when I was like standing earlier when I was making my tea, literally just standing to make my tea, and like my heel
feels bruised to stand on. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with it. I don't even know how the fuck that would have even happened. It doesn't look bruised. It feels like it, you know, like when you like put pressure on like a really bad bruise. That's what my heel feels like. I have no idea. No, literally. 30 falling apart, I guess. That's the solution. That's the answer. But yeah, so I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know. I don't know. Thank you, Horn! I don't know, maybe Bob's sleeping on it? It's my left one, yeah. Yeah, it's my left heel. I don't know what's going on with that. No, literally. So I have to clean up my room today. Mainly, well, we have to film in the next few days, but also I'm having the house cleaned, and this room needs to be cleaner to have that happen. So I gotta do that. That's my main thing I'm focusing on during the stream. Yeah. Yep. Yep, it just fucking hurts. So, yay. Ugh. Also, my allergies are super bad this morning. It's not helping. It's not helping. It always sounds weird, but like, I don't want them putting my shit away. They don't know where it goes. Like, there's a difference between like tidying up, like the physical items being put back in their location, versus physically like cleaning an area. I'm having them physically clean the area. I am tidying up so that there is places to clean. Like, I don't want them moving stuff around because I'm gonna, like, it's gonna get lost. And I can't deal with that. It's gonna piss me off so bad. Oh, because that has happened, and that is, like, the most annoying thing ever, also. Gonna be a lot of that today because my allergies are fucking awful. So, yeah, exactly. We gotta move the dildos. We gotta move the cum lube. We gotta move. Like, it's right here on the desk. Can't have that there. Yeah. No, sometimes I can even have the closet cleaned up to like a degree where it's fine. Because if I have the door open, all of the bad stuff's hidden behind the door. So if you don't close the door, it's totally fine. But yeah, right now it's too... The closet's too much of a mess. I'm just gonna store everything in there. But yeah, I gotta hide the fuck machine. Gotta put the cosplays I'm in the process of doing away. So many things. So many things. Yeah, at least the tech isn't failing me right now. Knock on wood. So. Let's find something to watch. Also, I'm like breaking out even more today, which is just really fun. That's great. I love that for me. Also, just a fair warning, I might make this stream slightly shorter than it would normally be, because normally I would go to like 1:30 and then swap over. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do that. We'll see how it goes, but I'm leaving it open for if I have to like end early so I have a little more of a break in between them. I can do that. So yeah, but I'm not sure entirely yet. So what should we watch, chat? I'm seeing if there's anything that looks like a good little dive for us to watch. Have I checked the stream? Fuck. Jesus Christ. Have I checked the stream plan message? Oh! Ha. Thanks. We just have all the stuff still from last night. Ignore that. I was like, what? Okay. Should we watch some Sims drama? Because there's been Sims drama. We could watch some of that. Because that's funny as shit that there's Sims drama. I mean, the reason that there's Sims drama isn't funny. But yeah, there's new Sims drama. So if you haven't seen, EA was sold to Saudi Arabia. Yeah. So oh, we have kitten time. It's kitten time. It's time for kitten. Oh, he's crazy. Crazy kitten. Lunchy, what'd you do? What you haven't stuck? No, Lunchy. Lunchy. You're crazy, sir. You're crazy. You're crazy. Nugget, you're crazy. You're crazy, Mr. Nugget. Anyway, no. EA was sold to Saudi Arabia. Not a joke, unfortunately. Very much real. So if you purchase or subscribe to or buy any EA games now, including The Sims, I'm sure they make other games as well. I don't care about them. Other games that EA makes. Sports games or whatever the fuck. Anyway, you're directly supporting, oh god, how many human rights violations? Yeah, you're directly funding it now. Like, directly. If you purchase or support any of those things, you are now directly funding Saudi Arabia. So, yeah. Maybe don't do that. Personally, I'm not playing The Sims anymore. And that's saying something because I fucking like The Sims, although I'm mad at them also, but that's actually not the main reason I'm not playing The Sims. It's actually just gotten so fucking bad that I can't anymore because they won't let me play offline. And they update so often that it breaks all my shit to the point that it's unplayable. So, I don't fucking play anymore because it's just a nightmare. I'm waiting for Paralives. See, pirating The Sims does not work. Like, I guess if you want to play base game, you can pirate The Sims, but, like, mods do not work on pirated versions of The Sims well. They don't work, they're not supported, and it's never gonna work well. So, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. So, yeah. It's not even worth pirating. Like, at all. So, anyway. Sims is already dead, but this has absolutely killed it. And now all of the Sims influencers who, you know, make a million excuses as to why The Sims is still shit, even though it shouldn't be, and it's a 10-year-old game now, and they really need to just, like, fucking make a new one. But they won't, because it's a cash cow for them. Well, guess what? That cash cow might have just keeled over, so. Mods meaning deal... No. Mods meaning mods. Do you not know what mods are? I'm fucking confused. What do you mean? I've never even encountered someone who doesn't know what mods are for a game before. That's... My brain is short-circuiting. What do you mean? I have never seen anyone ever called DLC mods before. That's crazy. I guess it could also mean, like, moderator. But, like, no. You've been playing games since you were 7, yet you don't know what mods are? I'm confused. Like, sure, you don't use mods, but you don't even know what they are? I don't know what that is. But, like, they would just be wrong. A mod is a mod. Like, mods are not from the game itself. Hence why it's a mod. It's like the entire... You're modifying the game. Anyway. So we're gonna watch... We're gonna watch Adam's video on it, because he doesn't usually cover Sims drama. So if it's reaching the drama YouTubers, that's a bad sign. That's a very bad sign. I don't know, maybe you're just fucking stupid. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what the fuck blue shift is. Like, maybe name a game that people actually know what you're talking about, and then you can make a point, I guess. I don't know. It's like, this is industry standard lexicon. So if you don't know what it is, that's a you problem. Yep, you are fucking stupid for not knowing what a mod is, and that it's different than DLC. Like, chill the fuck out. No, actually, I'm gonna be a dick to you because I don't like stupidity, and I'm tired. I just woke up. I'm sick, and I feel like it. So, I'm gonna be really mean to you about it, because I can. Hey Pips, how are you feeling? Ugh. Okay, let me... yeah, we'll just do this. Let's do this one. I love when people are like, oh my god, don't be mean. Pathetic. Don't be mean. How about you get offline if you don't want people to be mean? This is the internet. I don't owe you kindness. Ugh. No, Pips, I'm sorry. Same though. Like, I don't know why the nausea specifically is just persisting. Did it strike a nerve? Did it make you really upset that I called you stupid because you're fucking stupid? Oh my god, that must be so hard for you. I feel so bad for you. It must be so hard to be fucking stupid. Just like Munchie. Because he's summoning Bagagwa in the daytime. You're not allowed to do that. I love how after every meal he just goes out there and starts screaming. After every meal. You had a scary dream last night? Dude, I wish I'd slept enough that I actually got to have a dream last night, but no. I was not asleep long enough to hit that part of the REM cycle. Munchie! Why are you making crazy noises? You have air purifiers on in all rooms? That's honestly smart. I do too, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it. But like they only do so much. So, yeah. True. I did end it early / on time last night, yeah. Any weird creepy dreams on a VHS tape? Wait. Like in what sense? Dude, what are you doing? Munchie, what are you doing out there? Sir. I can't micromanage you right now, Munchie. Wait. As in the sense of it, sorry. Waking up still. So, like a VHS tape in the sense of like how like when you dissociate or whatever, it feels like you're watching a movie. So like the dream you had felt like you're watching a VHS tape, or did you have a dream about a VHS tape, or are you in some roundabout way telling me that you somehow have created the ability to record your dreams on VHS tape and are doing such? Which is it? Which one? What? That was like the least answered my question answer he could have given me. Ah. Jesus. Fuck. See, this is why I need to clean my room. It's messy. Yeah, there's multiple types of dissociating. That's just like... Usually that one happen like the one where you're like watching a movie tends to happen like it's like circumstantial, tends to be more circumstantial, like you're dissociating because like there's a traumatizing thing currently happening, not so much you're reliving it, although that can happen when you're reliving it as well, but like it's usually like an in the moment type of a dissociation. That's at least that's how my therapist has explained it to me. It's just like that's so like when people describe dissociation as like, oh, it's like when you're watching yourself, it's like you're watching yourself in a movie or something like that. People describe it that way because it tends to be the most common type of dissociation that people experience. Not everyone experiences it, obviously, but that's more common because it's more situational. Therefore, if you've had like something like crazy happen and you might have dissociated in that moment, people can like relate to that, so people describe it that way because it's more relatable, because more people have experienced that. Most people don't experience the I'm staring at a wall and now 5 hours have passed dissociation. That one's less rare, or that one's less common unless you have like an actual like mental health reason for it. And then, but like that one's more common if you have like an actual like reason to be dissociating. Like you have like a mental health reason for it. Like that one's more common. So it's kind of weird, but yeah. Anyway, I get both. So, meh. I feel like the time loss one is way more common for me though. Like, yeah, exactly. Like for me, also, did you guys see chat update? Oh, also, start stream with some meds here. But like, yeah, I think the time loss one is the most common for me. I do get the like watching yourself in a movie one every once in a while, but that's usually like it's certain times of the year or like around like anniversaries of like events or things like that. Like it's, or something's happening like in that moment. That's usually the one I get if that's the situation. Otherwise I just get the time loss one. But dude, my therapist was like, so you like remember what's happening during that time loss, right? Like it's not like you're not remembering it. Like if you're losing time and you don't remember the time that you've lost, not in the sense of like, oh, where did the time go? But like, you know that you were sitting in that chair that whole time. Like you don't really remember what you were doing on the computer or whatever, but you were still like conscious of sitting in the chair or whatever and like doing something. That's just normal dissociation. However, if you lose time and you are in a new location that you don't remember going to, or you have apparently done something that you have quite literally no memory of and you just did it, you should probably look into getting diagnosed for DID, because that's a sign. It's not necessarily 100% that's the case, but it's definitely a sign. It's an indicator. So it's definitely an indicator. So I would see a specialist for that one. But either way, yeah, dissociating is so fun. Dude, my fucking neck. I feel like that's pretty normal. I feel like a lot of times you don't really remember like your actual like emotional state in the event. Does that make sense? Like, I think because you go into like fight or flight when the event's actually happening, a lot of times your like brain will shut down the actual processing part of that. So you're not like you're not like conscious as much of how you're feeling because it's your body protecting itself, I think. So that's why whenever you're getting like flashbacks and shit, that's when it actually comes up, because your body is not currently in danger anymore. But like your body, A, doesn't know it's not currently in danger anymore, and 2, because like you're subconsciously aware that you're not in danger, your body can now feel all of the fucking shit it was hiding beforehand. So yeah, like that makes perfect sense. Like I think that's pretty common, honestly. Like that's been my experience 100%. Like it's slightly weird analogy, but you know how like when you transport polar bears from like a dangerous location in the wild to a like animal sanctuary where they're protected and stuff, they will be in survival mode in the wild, right? There's then the climax of you have to tranquilize them and like knock them out, and so that you can transport them and everything, right? But that's a really traumatic event for the polar bear. So when they wake up, they are in the exact same state that they were when you tranquilized them. Nothing has changed for them. They wake up and they are freaking out just as much as they were beforehand. Because it's like, even though they're now not in that situation anymore, like their body is still, it's still reacting to the situation, the traumatic situation that it just experienced. So like, it takes a while for your body to like fully exert all of that, to the point that it can take years and decades to really get all of that like traumatic energy out of your body. Like, you know, like, it's like, even though the polar bear is now safe, they're in a perfect environment for them, they're around other polar bears that are safe, nothing's happening right now, they're perfectly safe, but that doesn't really matter. Yeah. So I feel like that's pretty normal. It's pretty normal. Calm, you lucid dream all the time? Dude, I also lucid dream all the time, but like, I only have nightmares, so that's not really great. Yeah, so you're normal. Don't worry. That's all super normal. None of that is a weird reaction. Tetris is really good. Honestly, oh god, same. Because anytime I remember my dreams, they're always like so, like my dreams are always so like lengthy. It feels like months long in my dreams. They're lengthy as shit. They're extremely fucking detailed. And like, it's always like normal, then something horrific happens. But like, and like, I'm fully aware it's a dream, but like, that doesn't, I think people have like a movie concept of what lucid dreaming is, where it's like, they're like, yes, if I do this, and then I can do this in the dream, and then I can control the stuff that's in the dream. No. You're just aware that you're dreaming. Like, you're just aware that you're dreaming. Going past that point to having like control over the dream is a wholly different thing than just lucid dreaming. Lucid dreaming is just being aware that you're fucking dreaming while you're dreaming. It doesn't mean that you get control over it. Like, that's a movie. That's a movie. Like, sure, you can have like somewhat control over what you're doing, but like the dream itself is still a fucking dream. It's still like going off dream logic. Like, that's not like, it's not just like, yes, I am now aware I am dreaming. The bad creature vanishes because I become a ninja. Like, stop it. Like, we're not in Inception right now. That's not how this works. But yeah, somehow it's not like being Neo in the Matrix. Oof, rip, you got a nosebleed? I'm sorry, that sucks. Inception is just like a dream within a dream. You're like going deeper dreams within a dream. I don't know why people act like Inception is super fucking complicated. It's not. It's literally, you put someone to sleep, you go inside their dream, you put someone to sleep inside the dream, you go into the person who's asleep in the dream's dream. You're just doing that for multiple layers. It's literally just that. That's the whole thing. That's it. You're just going into dreams within dreams. That's the whole fucking, it's just a subconscious deep dive. That's it. Yeah, like, it's just like going down hotel floor of dreams, or up, whichever, doesn't matter. Analogies, me. Sure, yeah, that's exactly what I said. Could totally ignore everything else that I had just said, for sure. Totally. That's really good brain processing there. Okay, well, let's watch this.
Okay, we recently talked about the Sims franchise being sold to Saudi Arabia, and I did an entire video on that I don't want to rehash
Which
too
is
many of my
crazy.
thoughts at the start of it, because I really
Like,
wanna
were they
react to this
really
video
needing that?
from
They
YouTube
needed
channel
money that
Matt
badly?
Malcolm. I know a lot of
They
you
sold
may or
to
may
Saudi
not know this
Arabia?
creator. I have been watching him for a good couple weeks now, and I really enjoy his content that
Is
he
it
has been
Malcolm?
making on The Sims, and I find
Is
it
it
really
not
interesting
Malcolm?
to kind of like watch videos of someone
Please tell
pulling
me
the
it's not
veil back
Malcolm.
on like the Sims creators who, you know, are always like hashtag gifted or whatever. And I just want to make it very clear at the start of this video.
Also, how's the
Sims
volume?
content along with ASMR is some of the only content that I watch on YouTube, and also Christmas morning vlogs, if I'm being honest.
I guess so.
They're some of the only content that I watch. and
Yeah,
I
he's the one
love,
who
love,
Colleen
love the Sims
Ballinger was
community so much.
harassing
I
and
just
being
really
a
wanna
weird,
make that
creepy
clear,
pedophile towards.
because, you know,
He's an
some of
adult
his
now.
videos can be
But
quite,
when he was
you know,
not an adult,
divisive,
she was
and, you know,
being really
he's making
creepy and
points
sent
that, you
him
know, I agree with,
underwear.
some I don't agree with.
It's Adam, yeah.
Ultimately talking about the responsibility of these, like, what are they called? The
I
EA
can up it a little.
partners, or
Okay.
the Sims partners, whatever they're called. I want to make it very clear that, first and foremost, I am like a
How's
fan
that?
of
Is
so
that
many
better?
of these. I love Lil Simsy. I love Staffo Sims.
Turn it
I
up
love
even more.
English Simmer.
how's
I
that?
love,
It's a little quiet.
who else did I watch? Oh, I'm going like, there was a girl called Nicole Sims, like, back in the day I loved as well. Della Gracie, yeah, like, I love Sims YouTubers. So I just want to make it clear, first and foremost, that, like, this is the time
I
where a
know,
lot of
it's
people are talking
crazy
about the
how it's all fucking
responsibilities of
crashing
these, like,
and burning.
creators, like Max's partners. I also just
The
want to make it
Max's
clear that
partners
there's only
are
so much that these
fucked.
people can do, and this ultimately is also a job for them, making content on the Sims. and
He
these
started
people
the
are
toxic
probably
gossip train.
as nervous and scared about
I don't
this
really do
as what
collabs
you
at
guys
all.
are, and
I'm gonna
what
be
I am,
honest,
even just playing the game.
It's just too much drama.
So
Collabs
just
are
keep that
too much
in your
drama.
mind at
Like,
the
I'll
start of the
collab with
video.
like my
But anyways, this video has been
friends,
sent to
but
me
like
a lot, and I
other
do like
than
his
that,
other
like I
content.
just can't.
It says
It's
the
too
Sims
risky.
influencer crash out is
People
valid.
get into
So let's
drama,
get to
and
it.
I just don't want
There's
to be
a
dragged
call
into
coming
it.
from inside the house,
I don't.
and it's someone telling you to cope harder. Some
Yes, it
people in the
is not
Sims
Malcolm.
community are having a really hard time coming to terms with the reality of EA's sale to Saudi
You
Arabia
don't understand how
and the
good
Trump
this tea
family.
is, 'cause
And when I
all of
tell
the
you
Sims
number of
creators
excuses,
hate
If you really
not
haven't
Malcolm
watched my
because he
video,
calls them the
please go
fuck
watch it,
out, and
because,
he
like,
is
I hit
correct.
every
And
single
that's
thought
who
that
we
I have
watched
about
last
the
time,
sale.
by the way.
the whataboutisms, the mental gymnastics, the reaches, the overall cope that I've witnessed
Which
from
also
Sims
he posted a
players
new
and Sims
video
content
today, and
creators
we
over
should
the
watch that
last few
next.
days. Wow.
Yeah, no, I have control
No
issues.
amount
My
of time
content
on
is
Sims.
not
I'm gonna
safe
be honest,
for
for
work
my mental
also,
health, I had
so
to
like
walk
you
away
have to
from
have
the
like a
Sims
super
community whenever Sims 4
specific
started really going off the deep
brand
end.
to
Twitter
even
could
want to
have
work with
prepared
me in the
for
first
this.
place.
It's actually beyond. In my
Yeah.
last video, I talked about how we as consumers
don't
need
wanna
to
collaborate with
reconcile with
anyone.
the fact that next
What?
year, when this
I
EA
just
deal
said
goes
that.
through,
I don't like
goes through in
collaborating.
April
I don't want to
2026, by the
collab.
way.
I
any and
have
all
zero
money
desire
you
to do
spend
any
on EA
collabs.
products will be
No
going to a
collab.
government that engages in human rights abuses.
I also think that was such a great point that I didn't bring up in my video. Like, I've been so focused on how much they were going to be, like, charging us for things and asking for money. But ultimately, at the end,
But no, it's
ultimately, at the
funding
end of the day,
human
that money
rights
is going to Saudi
atrocities. Like,
Arabia,
that's the
that
huge problem with
I can
this.
assume at
it's
least
so
a
bad.
majority
Okay,
of the
I'm gonna
audience
start
of The
cleaning the room.
Sims disagree with a lot of things that they do and a lot of stances that they have. And I completely forgot about that. Like, no longer are you just,
See you
like,
in the
funding a
rewatch.
little EA game. Like, you're sending money to Saudi Arabia.
And in the last
Like,
week
okay.
since the buyout was announced, I've seen so many people saying, I quit. I cannot play The Sims 4. I cannot support EA as a company anymore. I'm boycotting. But I've also seen a whole
Me, but
lot of
also I wasn't playing it
excuses
before
from people
anyway, 'cause it
saying,
was already
but you live in a society, so...
You know, we're living in a society.
To others saying, well, what about your iPhone? You know, some bad things happened when they made it, so that means we're all terrible people anyway, so it doesn't really matter.
Right.
Damn.
Right.
To others,
Also, that mindset is crazy.
They
We're
all
all
did
fucked.
swing
We're
it.
all gonna die.
Damn, I gotta
Like,
get,
if you have that
the song.
mindset, like, we're all gonna
Put a
die.
shock
You were just
collar on
saying,
Munchie.
I don't care.
Munchie,
I'm gonna keep supporting The Sims and EA as a company. They literally did
Sit in your
say
spot for
death
hours
to
when
all of
she's
you.
like
Well, not everyone, but I got a few comments on my last video from people complaining that I was being too
Oh my god. Comments like this are fucking draining. Stop making it political.
Oh
That's why
my
things have
God,
escalated
it
to this
is
point
political.
in this country. Even a life simulation game is political. There's no outlet. You know why it's political to them?
I hate
Because
people that are
the
like,
things
"Oh,
being
don't make it
changed
political,"
don't
like,
affect them in any
Okay,
way.
but at a certain point, everything
And
is
that's like-
political. Do you know what politics
That
even
translates
is?
to a lot of things in life when
Like,
people
sure,
are like,
don't
stop
make
making
it
things
a
political. It'll never apply
bipartisan-
directly to them.
Or like a partisan thing.
political.
Don't do
And I
like a
just wanna
left
be
versus
clear
right
that,
thing about
human
it.
rights
Sure.
abuses
Don't
is
do
not
politics like that.
Yeah.
But,
As
like,
a matter of fact,
don't
I
bring
believe that
politics
if
in it.
you
It's
remove
literally
the
political.
investors
It's
from
being
this
sold to a
equation, this
country
EA deal is still
who
one
is
of the
really
worst
bad
things to ever
politically.
happen
Like,
to
what-
video games, period. If you guys remember a couple years ago, there was this huge
Also, if EA,
Exactly.
you know,
We
are
still
being
have
bought out
San
by Saudi
Rio, who
Arabia and the
have
Trump
concerns
family, the others will follow. And then look
Thank
at
God.
the system that we had. You know what I mean?
or when Microsoft announced that it was buying Activision Blizzard for like $68 billion.
gonna make a pile of
Rightfully so, a
everything
lot of
right
people
there.
were concerned about this mega
gonna make a
corporation
pile of shit to
acquiring
put it
a
away.
game studio. We have enough giant corporations controlling literally everything in the world.
Yeah.
We don't need another one. But looking back, maybe that deal wasn't as bad. Because in comparison, this EA buyout is
Yeah.
way worse. At least Microsoft was a publicly traded tech company with decades of experience in the video
would've
game
rather
industry.
Microsoft
Obviously,
owned
they
it.
make Xbox, and they've been producing video games since like the 70s or 80s. But when it comes to this deal, we're literally seeing one of the largest video game companies in the world being taken private by a foreign government, a family of
Honestly, I
billionaires
feel
who
really bad for the
literally
people who
run the U.S.
work
government, and a
at The
private
Sims.
equity firm.
Like the people who actually like
This
work
is so
on the
bleak.
game. That
It
must
really
be
is so
terrifying.
Like, when you think it can't get worse, no, it, like, actually gets worse.
Yeah.
This is so devastating. Like, it really is
It's
so
so bad.
devastating.
It can't get much worse than this. There are no checks and balances.
We
There are
can't
no
have anything
shareholders
nice.
to answer to. These three entities are in control of this entire company. It's bad for video games. It's bad for players, and that's before.
And you know what's so frustrating? There's, like, nothing that can be done. We don't have 56 billion.
Before you even consider who exactly is buying this company.
True, nothing
As
can
we
be done
know,
about it.
Saudi Arabia is the primary investor in the EA buyout. The source told CNBC that the Saudi government will, quote, by far be the majority investor in the new structure.
Great. Which means that they're the ones that have the lightest voice in making decisions about any EA game.
They already own 10% of EA, but in 6 to 9 months when the deal goes through, these investors will own
Gotta take more
everything,
than wings
100%. And the worst part is, any money you give them will be used to support systemic hate, bigotry, and literal murder. It's also
not gonna
really
talk
important
about
to
dirty
note here,
closet.
if this were
Closet
just a
is gonna
Saudi
be a closet.
company that was not owned by the government, this would be a completely
That is also such an argument here, which is like Saudi Arabia are also, you know, buying up a lot in entertainment. We're aware
Yeah,
of this,
they're
but this game is
trying
now like
to
directly
redo
involved with the government.
Their
The fun little
image.
game of The Sims is
Which,
now
like,
involved with the government.
Saudi Arabia, you're not gonna fix your fucking image
You know what also
until
the
you
government
become
are trying
not
to take
Saudi
control of?
Arabia
Things
anymore.
like TikTok. Any algorithm, any game, we kind of fucking shit.
different story. The problem literally is that the PIF is owned and controlled by the leader of this authoritarian regime. So needless to say, this has been a very tough pill for people in the Sims community to swallow.
There is this whole movement in the Sims community.
I like his
of,
videos.
we need to boycott the Sims right now, and every Sims YouTuber needs to quit their channel right now. And I'm seeing like all this crazy stuff going on. There is no such thing as ethical consumption. Are you watching this video on a phone right now?
So
I like his
that is
videos,
a
but
bad
I
argument.
disagree with that point.
That is
Okay,
just
here's
a
my
bad
take on
argument
this.
for this.
My take on this is
There's no
Sims
ethical
YouTubers-
consumption means like you can't complain about
They make their
how
livelihood,
iPhones
right?
are made.
off of
Like
the
you
Sims
can't use
game.
that. Like that's not
playing The Sims, but even
That's
more,
not the same
they
thing.
rely on people caring about the Sims game. So now, a lot of Sims YouTubers
Like, if
are
a
having
company
to persuade
pivots
people to still be
and is all of a sudden like
interested
yeah,
or wanting to play
we're
the
gonna
game or
use
wanting to
child
support
labor,
money,
like,
you know,
you
give
don't
money to
then
Saudi Arabia.
continue
They have to be
supporting them.
persuading that because otherwise they are out of a job. And I'm not saying that in a shitty way.
like
That's
if they
like,
didn't do that and they
every
started
person-
doing that.
That's like if every person decided I'm gonna be really
Like,
nice,
bro,
and I'm like
what
shit,
the
I'm out of a
fuck?
job.
But like when
talk
every
about it
single
anymore.
fucking phone
You know what I
company
mean? I'm
uses
gonna
the
have to, like,
same
persuade
child
people to be
label, we're
negative
kind of
again.
fucked
Be
no matter
nasty.
what.
She called you a bitch. You know what I mean?
You just have to accept you
So,
never get a phone.
I really
or you
like this
get-
guy's videos.
No,
this guy
because you
right
can't
here.
even get one of the
I don't know
cheap like other
I
ones
really
because
like
those
his
are
videos.
also
I disagree
made
with this point
shittily.
completely,
like,
but I do see it as a YouTuber trying to
But,
keep their
like,
audience on board. And yes, you can
that's
argue
not-
that
that's not
ethical
this
about that or whatever,
situation.
and you know, being
That's
a little
not
bit
this
manipulative.
situation
I
at
don't care. I
all.
really don't care
Like-
because like I can't imagine the stress of
I
like
can't believe you just made that. as
being
an
like, oh,
actual
shit.
argument.
you know what I mean.
Child in a third world country probably in a mine explosion so
goodness.
that they could mine something to build the phone that you're watching me on right now. Congratulations, you child.
And again, I mean, the like worst by worst or one upping is just
that's
it's never gonna
not-
work out good.
I want to start here because I've seen a lot of people echoing
if
the
you wanna
same
one-up,
sentiment. The whole there's
Saudi
no
Arabia is
ethical
gonna win that
consumption under
competition every
capitalism
time, though.
rebuttal. So
So
let's
why
go with
even
Satch's
start that?
example
That's
of
not
a
the
phone.
point
Say
here.
you go to the store and you
Like-
want to buy an iPhone. During the production of the iPhone, are there exploitative and unethical labor practices occurring? Absolutely. Just like there are with pretty much every product you consume and use on a daily basis. But when you actually go out and buy the iPhone, who's really getting your money? Does Apple get everything? Well, no. They're a public company with investors all over the world. Apple
Exactly.
literally has thousands of investors who are
It's
all
a public
profiting
company.
off of your purchase.
Like, that's
So the
literally
difference
private
is,
Saudi
we don't know
Arabia
every
who
single
is going to
company or
literally use it to
country or
fund
entity
war
that
and
is profiting
terrorism
off of the
and,
purchases we make.
again,
That information
human
is not
rights
readily available
atrocities.
to us as consumers. But with the sale
it's
of EA,
direct.
we know exactly where our money is going because there are only 3 options. The Saudi government is fronting nearly all the money for this deal. They're the primary investor.
Oh,
Your
it's
money
so
is going
over.
to them. End of story. So
so
unlike your
bad.
iPhone purchase, with EA and its products, you know exactly where your money is going and most importantly, the deplorable things it is contributing to.
Kyle said, see, I don't like that all information should be very visible. See, there's arguments both
You
ways.
don't feel guilty for using technology
The argument is that like it's so only Saudi getting the money here versus, you know what I mean?
just
I
like you
understand
don't
the
feel
argument.
guilty for heating your home using a car. You don't feel guilty about using makeup, animal products, beauty products.
Please let's stop with the bullshit
No,
excuses
I
and the
absolutely do not
whataboutisms
use
and
makeup
those
that's tested on
equivalencies.
animals.
I'm pretty
So a
sure
bit
we're all aware
disappointing.
that video games are not as essential as something like a phone or food or clothes or heating your home. You do not need video games to
Yeah,
get
it's
by.
literally a
They're
luxury.
purely for entertainment value. There are dozens of people and creators who have been trying really hard to prove that this deal isn't that bad and that we're all unethical anyway because we're living under capitalism.
Like,
So it doesn't really
no.
matter and you should just keep buying everything EA puts out.
It is exhausting to try and be a perfectly virtuous person in a world where everything is unethical. Every single business CEO
There
of
are
every
levels to
single
the
big company is a
unethicalness of it,
psychopath,
though.
an evil
Bruh.
psychopath.
Whatever you need
Bruh.
to tell yourself to make you feel better. Last year, the Human Rights Watch published a 95-page document outlining the endless
like-
abuses that the PIF has facilitated and benefited
my
from.
God.
And recently, a spokesperson for the Human Rights Watch commented on the sale of EA to Saudi, saying, and I quote, "We see this as
Like,
a
one thing
deliberate
can be
attempt
bad, it
to
doesn't mean the other
distract
thing
from
isn't
the
also
country's
worse,
human
and you're
rights abuses."
directly
If you really have to
encouraging it.
Jesus
rationalize
Christ.
this situation by saying, well,
And then it's like then literally playing The Sims like moving forward now, like we are literally just supporting that.
Like,
Nice.
no, you're
Isn't
not.
it crazy this all started as a little like passion thing for Maxis?
0.5% of the purchase
so
of this
bad for
granola bar
Maxis.
contributes to exploitation somewhere in the world, so this EA thing doesn't really matter anyway. Go off, Queen. You guys know how they say the first stage of grief is denial? But for me
Yeah,
and others,
true.
there's no uncertainty here. I've actually seen several people all over the internet trying to reconcile this situation in their minds and make up excuses. A few people in my comments were saying things like, well, you put gas in your car, that goes to
Bitch.
Saudi Arabia. First
Stop
of all,
it.
how dare you? Your boy doesn't even own a car. How do you think my ass got this fat? I've been walking up and down these
First of
hills
all,
every
I
day.
don't
But I'm
leave the
imagining if
house.
I did. When I go to the gas station, it does not tell me at the pump where the crude oil used to produce this gasoline is sourced from or what country or company it's enriching. This gasoline could come from Texas, Norway,
Like,
Mexico,
if there was a
Canada,
fucking
or
label
Saudi
on things
Arabia,
that was
or
like,
hell, maybe a combination
directly
of all of
funding
those.
Saudi
and we also
Arabia.
don't know what percentage
I'm
of
not
this
buying
sale
it.
is going to support which company or government. That information is not clear to us at
Yeah, I would go watch and subscribe to him. He's a great content creator. Yeah, the point of it now just being like we do now know and people are like, well, we want to know who the money's going to. The point is, like, we do now know that the money is really just so targeted with Saudi Arabia when supporting The Sims. That's the argument here.
As consumers. Does that mean the entire process behind the gasoline's production is ethical? Of course not. But when we have the knowledge, as we do in this case, and we know exactly where all of our money is going, not 1%, not 10%, 100%,
Fine,
Jesus
then
putting
that
my
knowledge
laptop
gives
away.
us the ability to make ethical decisions
True, you can also
and to
buy
vote with
an
our
electric
wallets.
car.
Look, part of what is so troubling about this EA deal is that it's so apparent what is happening, and it hits harder for us as players and consumers when we know exactly what we're supporting when we buy something. And with the sale of EA, there is no doubt
I
about
think
where
the
our
thing that pisses
money
me
is
off
going.
the most with
This
this,
is the
too,
Saudis
is that they're
taking
only saying
control
this so that they
of
can
EA.
continue
And this is
making
why
content
these,
of
well,
it
what about
and
your
not get
phone
backlash
arguments
for it.
are
But,
so
like,
irrelevant.
no,
It
you're
is
gonna
not.
get
Also,
fucking
like, why do
backlash.
we want to
You're gonna get
defend
fucking
EA in
backlash
this?
if you continue
Like,
playing
why
the
do we
game.
want to, like,
You're gonna
have
get
there
fucking
be, like, a
backlash.
scapegoat?
You know
Like,
you're
why
gonna
do
get
we
fucking
want there to be,
backlash.
like, a
So you
good
can't
in
just
it?
say
There
this
isn't.
as
There
a get out of
literally
backlash
isn't.
free card.
Not the same
Stop
thing.
it.
And sometimes there's not a good in something.
And anybody telling you differently really needs to hop off at Copium Station.
It's only just like a small minority of simmers that are turning this into a really toxic thing.
I really like Satch's video. Oh, that's such a disappointing video. I didn't see that one from
Yeah,
him.
I'm
that's
sure
not
it is
good.
terrifying
He's
for these
usually pretty
content
I saw
decent,
Lil
but no,
Simsy's
that was
video and I
bad.
thought it was really great. I thought it was really great.
creators to come to terms with
Creator
the reality
Network, that's
of
what
this
it's called.
situation and who and what they'll be supporting when they promote this game and
True, if
influence
you get a
their
Tesla
viewers
recently,
to
I'm definitely
buy it. I had a
judging
few
you.
Sims content creators
But see, that's
comment
the same
on my
thing.
last
It's
video.
like,
Some
if
of
you
them
get
were
an
very
electric
defensive
car
and very angry. I too
not a
would be
Tesla,
conflicted if my
everyone's
entire
like, oh my
channel
god, that's
were
awesome.
about playing The Sims
If you
4,
recently get a
especially if I did
Tesla,
full-time
it doesn't
and I
matter
relied
that
on
it's
this
like
for my
necessarily
income.
good.
It's a
It
predicament.
has
But to say to
the
YouTubers
reputation that
or
it's funding
creators or
someone who's
anybody who
terrible.
plays The Sims 4
Therefore,
in
you get
general,
backlash
that
for
they
having
use
it. That's why
is
people don't like
pretty
Tesla
dramatic and
trucks.
dumb.
And I
That's why you get
certainly am
bullied
not telling
if you have a
anyone what
Tesla
they can
truck.
or cannot do. That is up to you.
Like-
However, what I am saying is that if you're a Sims content creator, especially one that's hyping up DLC after DLC and profiting off of EA sales,
Yeah, I think that's the difference with being a Sims creator as well. Like,
like,
when
you're
you're not just
literally
playing,
making
but you're
money off
actively
of it.
promoting the packs to your audience, because that's obviously your job. Then
Like, it's one thing if you're just
Ugh.
making
with your
content
creator
of it.
code, you will
But
have
it's another
to deal with
if
the
you
backlash
like are literally
and the
partnered
consequences
with
of
them.
that decision.
Now
Whether
you are
decide to
literally
pivot
being
or
funded
stop
by
playing
Saudi
The Sims
Arabia.
altogether or keep playing
Now
like
you
nothing's
personally
happening.
benefit
There
from
will
Saudi
be
Arabia getting
repercussions
money.
beyond
That's a
your Sims
bad
channel,
position.
and it should weigh on your conscience. Just a couple days ago, a Sims 4 YouTuber in the EA Creator Network,
Like,
Devin Bumpkin, announced that he's leaving the creator program due to this buyout.
Oh,
and he
wow.
urged his viewers to stop
True,
using his
and they're
creator code.
ugly.
In a community post, he said, "With the new ownership
I
and
definitely
everything that comes with it,
have,
I
like, a
don't feel
visceral
comfortable
reaction when I see
continuing
a
to
fucking
financially
Tesla
promote the
truck in
company
person."
through my code. This all comes from a place of honesty and
wow, I've never seen his videos before, but wow.
alignment with my values." I don't think it's dumb at all to question what your purchases are supporting. I think it actually shows intelligence when people look into where their money's going when they buy something, and it's respectable when people take action and vote with their wallets. Not everybody cares enough to do that, so we shouldn't be
That's so
shading
crazy.
people for doing that. It doesn't mean you think you're better than other people or morally superior. It just means you made the decision that works best for you. So yeah, I have to be honest and say I'm very disappointed with Satch on Sim's reaction here. Especially with Satch
Damn, I
being
really
a
like
gay man, to use false equivalencies and whataboutism to try to minimize the disturbing reality
not
of
great.
the situation
It's not great.
is
Yeah, I think that's a true thing as well. Like, there really is no positive spin on this sale at all.
Yeah, no, there's nothing.
There's really
good
no
about
positive for the Sims franchise moving forward anymore. Like, it is just one of those things where, like, there isn't a good element to it. Like, it is just kind of like,
really missing the mark. And yeah, there's room for everyone to make mistakes, sure, but I personally cannot ignore a content creator using deflection or just dismissing these concerns
Okay, you know what?
like
Cleaning
he's
is
doing
actually
here.
going a lot faster
Because
than
to
I thought
me,
it would.
that is a flagrant dereliction of your responsibilities as a content creator.
Like, look at
I
that.
don't
Yeah,
like saying
I
this.
agree.
I
Ignore
the
actually
fuck we're
like
doing.
Satch. He is one of the
I also
only
like
Sims
Satch.
4 content creators who's ever been kind to me. I sympathize with him as someone who has also been treated like absolute garbage by some people in the Sims community. I really admire that he's one of the only ones who's actually being honest about the state of the game. He's not afraid to tell it like it is.
Yeah,
He doesn't
that's-
sugarcoat it. But I
that's
also
sad that he
do
doesn't seem
not
to understand
agree with this
the
take at
problem.
all. To be completely honest, compared to what Lil Simsy said, This is way worse. Speaking of Lil Simsy, she
Yeah.
I just think Lil Simsy's video was really great. I would love to watch it sometime, but it really is great. It really is great what she
addressed the
said.
topic
It
of
was
the
okay.
buyout again in a live stream a few days ago. In the live, a commenter actually asked her if continuing to play The Sims means she's being performative.
The comment is that it's performative to play Sims.
It's such an awful position as well that all of these simmers are in because they've really devoted their all to supporting EA. They have. And promoting AI Jesus Christ, EA. Oof. And it's like to be so discarded, and then they're the ones that have to take the brunt of it is just. So I really do sympathize with the. Same with Satch. I really do sympathize with these
decided they were gonna
creators
start using
because
fucking
I
AI
can only
too,
imagine
which
it's
is
really stressful to have to continue doing your job. This sale doesn't even go in until next year, and you're dealing with all these comments and stuff now. And this was not a position that you could have changed or that you had any say in.
And like not care about the
So I have a lot of time right now for the sim
room in my closet for the
YouTubers
publishing
because this is very transitional.
sale, basically, is what people are saying. I care deeply about the sale. Like, this is like keeping me up at night. I care deeply about the sale. But I don't want you to think that I'm like being performative and pretending to care about it and then like just turn around playing The Sims. Like, the sale is like.
God, she's a good one. I really like Lil Simsy. And when she
No,
followed me
she's
back
the
on
fucking
Instagram,
worst,
I was jumping
actually.
up and down for joy.
Like deeply distressing to me, more than like you could ever know.
I actually really appreciate her candor here. When she says this keeps her up at night, I believe her. And I want to be clear, I never doubted whether her support for the LGBT community was authentic. I truly believe that she
And I
does
say she's the
care,
worst
but
because
that
she is
doesn't
the
mean that
most
she or
fucking
anyone
sim
can also be
shill of all of the
hypocritical in the
sim shills.
situation.
And I understand.
Like,
it's
I actually don't
hypocritical.
mind
I get
her as
it.
a person.
I'm torn up about it, truly.
But
like,
she literally
truly
makes
torn up.
every
Again,
excuse
these
for
people are in
Sims
bad
so-
positions. It's very unfortunate considering, again, there was no heads up at all. And there's schedules, there's work, there's bills. You know
Like,
what
I
I mean?
just don't
Like,
understand
these
going that hard for
YouTubers
a
have to
game.
continue.
About this, I don't know what to do.
Because that is what we're seeing with a lot of these content creators when their words do not align with their actions. In the live stream,
I think the thing that's really nice and refreshing about Lil Simsy is just that, like, she's openly talking about it and it doesn't seem like she's just trying to, like, lie or sugarcoat anything.
I watched
really like her.
everybody.
She's a good woman.
Okay.
she also goes on to say that it's unfair to expect creators to give a response in 7 days.
It's
A
a
good
tough
point.
spot for like both me, but like I think also every Sims creator. I don't think that it's reasonable to expect people, not just me, but like everybody, to pivot their entire content within 7 days.
It's a great point. It is, and that's why, again,
I mean,
I'm being
for sure,
so
but
patient with
also,
even Satch, like a creator
you
that I really
cannot
like who
support it
had a
going
take I really didn't
forward.
like. Like, this is very
You can be like,
transitional.
okay,
You
I'm
know,
gonna
like I just,
go
it's so
offline.
new. Like no one
I'm
knows
not
what, we don't know what to,
downloading
no one knows what to
anything
do.
new. I'm not gonna be
Right?
paying
No one knows
any
what
more
to
money
do.
going
Now,
forward.
I agree
and
with
I'm
this to an
canceling my
extent, but
partnership.
let's be so
That's
real.
what I would
A lot
do,
of these
and then
people
I
have
would
shown us they do not care
refocus
about
on doing, like,
anything other than you
Stardew or
clicking on their
something
video
else.
and using their creator code.
I have a lot of respect for Lil Simsy, and Lil Simsy, you know, it's very different to me than a lot of like the creator partners or whatever, the EA partner YouTubers that you see that upload like every single week, you know, promoting shitty, you know, packs to their audience.
Promotes shitty
At
packs, like
checkout, we have
nobody's
seen some
fucking
of these
business.
creators
What do
stay
you
completely
mean?
silent, while
Every
EA
single
has
time there's a
released
new
broken
pack, and she
pack
fucking
after
reviews it.
broken
She's like,
pack and
"Oh,
milk
you
the
know,
Sims
oh
player
my God,
base
this
to the
thing
tune
is,
of
like,
100
it's
DLC
so
that
good.
costs
She's like, it's
$1,500.
totally fine, and they're
Why are we
fixing it, and,
supposed to
like,
be patient with
it's
people
an
who
early
clearly do not
access
care?
DLC,
This is actually why I
guys.
said in
You
my
can't be
last
mad
video that I
about it. It's
contemplated
an
whether
early
I
access
wanted to post the video
They
at all,
just
because
released
I wrote the
it. I'm
script
sure
and
they'll
I
fix
edited
it
a portion
soon.
of the video, and then I thought maybe
Bitch.
this is too soon. Maybe I should hold off on posting this until 6 to 9 months later when the deal actually closes. But I also realized that if we don't talk about
That's what I'm saying. Like, this is when you talk about it, so that the deal doesn't go forward, or you know what I mean. Like, it 90 probably percent is going to go through, but like if we're talking about it now, then you know it raises the and the other EA game
You could
fandoms as
potentially
well. But like,
give it such
now is
bad
not the time to be
publicity
silent
that-
about things like this.
'cause
Otherwise,
imagine
it's
if
forever
all of the
gone.
partners
buyout
pull
now
out,
and have this discussion
they
now,
might
and if I
rethink
waited
that
and
fucking
posted the
sale,
video
or
in
at
6 to
least
9 months, a
Maxis
lot of
and
these
The
creators
Sims
would
will
still
pull
be
out of
saying
EA.
nothing and
Like,
doing
they
nothing,
know it
or
would
at
ruin
most putting
their
their
game
hands
at
up and
least.
exclaiming, "I don't know what to do."
Help me, I'm poor.
So by having this conversation now, there's no excuse for creators who choose to ignore what's happening in 6 to 9 months when this deal closes. So these people
that's
have
so
plenty
quick
of
as
time
well.
to figure out if they're going to keep beating the dead horse that is The Sims 4 and working for EA as members of the creator network, and whether they will enrich the Saudi government and enable human rights abuses in the process. It is that simple.
Clock that too.
I actually want to give huge props to
Also, being on the creator network these days just isn't impressive at all. Just buy the pack yourself. You're making enough money on YouTube.
a Sims
Yeah,
creator,
exactly.
Fantasia, who has already
Like, why
done
not
a
just
complete
put your
rebranding
focus
of her
towards
channel
being,
and
like,
has
a
started
Twitch
playing
streamer
a variety of
or, I don't
different
know, your
games.
actual
Here's what she
content
said in a YouTube post.
instead of
If
just
you guys could support me playing some
that.
other cozy games here and there on the channel, I would truly appreciate it so much. Posting anything
God,
other than
this
The
is so
Sims is
stressful.
always a huge risk.
And again, they're put in this position by EA that these people have literally supported for so long. And again, companies and corporations don't care about you. But at least let's look at like the Sims team. You know what I mean?
my channel, but my gut is telling me to do this. Fantasia here already started the pivot. And by the way, if there's any other content creators watching, creator to creator, cozy games share a lot of the same audience as The Sims. I will say I myself have had quite a bit of success talking about cozy games. I don't do video game sponsorships, but I actually get emails all the time from cozy games wanting to give me money to talk about their games. So if you are a Sims creator,
Any of them watching here, come here. Come to me. I'll promote you.
looking to
Just
pivot,
focus
I
on
think what
Inzoid
Fantasia is
at
doing
least.
is a very
Like,
smart
it's
move.
not
I mean, to
good,
be
but at
honest,
least
a
it's
lot
not
of
funding
It's
these
Saudi
anticipating that
Arabia.
the Sims
It's just
franchise is
shitty
over.
AI.
should have started the pivot
Like,
years
become an
ago,
Inzoid
because the Sims
creator.
franchise has been on a steady decline, and this buyout is only accelerating that. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, with cozy
I think the
games
issue is
and
that it's not that they're
Paralives
just
coming
cozy
out
game
soon,
creators,
there's
they're
even
Oh, my
more
more
fingers
Sim
is so
creators.
crossed for Paralives. Inzoid let me down so bad with AI.
No, right? 'Cause,
Come
like,
on,
I
please,
cannot wait for
Paralives.
Paralives. Like, they should just wait for Paralives.
Please.
It's coming out in December.
And the thing is, The Sims and the Sims team and EA have relied on The Sims not having a good competitor for so long. If the Sims game is dying and a good competitor comes along, the deal flopped.
opportunity to switch things up. It's not all doom and gloom. It's not like my entire livelihood is coming to an end. I myself played The Sims
That
3
Paralives was cancelled. It better not fucking be.
for 2 years straight. Sims 3 and literally nothing
Love
else.
Sims 3.
But a year ago, I
Literally
decided
coming
to
out
switch up
December.
my content. I completely stopped playing The Sims, and today, literally 10 out of my last 30
Paralyzed
videos are about The Sims.
Early
Everything
access
else is a
comes out in
completely different
December,
topic,
okay?
different
Or like-
And I
Still
will
coming
be
out in December.
playing it, and I'm very
Early
hyped.
access. I'm so fucking excited.
genres. I get my bag talking
But also,
about
they
a
could,
lot of
like,
different
play
games and
Genshin,
topics now.
you know?
And I'm not
Genshin has, like, a
bragging, I'm just
character
saying
creator
as
now.
a
Just play
content
fucking
creator,
Genshin.
You give this video a
you can
like.
escape the hell
Not Malcolm.
that is
I
The
like you.
Sims and have success. But you have to try. You have to take action. So going back to Lil Simsy's stream, I agree with what she's saying here. I just hope that we start seeing her and other Sims
That's
influencers
true.
doing
Also, she
something
said that in an off-the-cuff moment as well.
and taking that action like Fantasia.
Early access December. For
Yep,
Paralives, oh my god.
Exactly, Paralyzed
Yeah,
Early
Inzoid was a
Access
big
December. Cannot wait.
So another YouTuber, Gons,
gonna be
also
so
made a
good.
video about the EA buyout.
What's happened is that EA has entered into an agreement to be acquired.
Like Lil Simsy, he's also a member of the EA Creator Network, and he himself has been sponsored by EA in the past. About a year ago, he admitted to getting paid for promoting stellar packs like Journey to Batu and My First.
Again, I understand this is the YouTuber's job, but there is something that really makes me sad about like even creators that I love being paid to promote packs that I paid my own money for that were shit. I'm like, listen, it's a check is a check. I'm not gonna hate you too much for it, but it makes me really sad.
Pet stuff.
It's no secret that my
it's
previous
so bad.
video video was a sponsored video. I flagged it as branded content.
Listen, a sponsor
and
is
I
a
put the tags
sponsor,
to
I
indicate
guess.
That EA has
guess,
indeed
but, like, fuck.
paid me for making videos.
That still blows my mind that they gave him cash money to promote those 2 packs.
My first pet stuff.
Like
as
they
a
should be spending that money, sorry, on making a better pack.
myriad of cute outfits.
right?
Or maybe
Like,
he
it's
chose to
so
promote those,
annoying.
I don't know. So like Lil Simsy and other
Why
EA
can't you
partners, he
promote a
has
shitty
financial
pack when you could
ties to the
actually just
company
make a
that
good
makes
pack and
this
then
game.
not have to
I do
fucking
agree
pay
with a
people to
lot of what
promote
he
it?
says in this video.
It
He's
would
mostly
promote
just
itself.
telling us the facts of the deal. But
Sims
I'm not
Castaway
really
is
sure
great.
why so many of these creators keep saying if the deal goes through.
It's important to be clear. Electronic
If the
Arts
deal goes
has
through, good,
not
it's
been
gonna go
sold
through.
yet.
What
It
would
won't
make it
sell
not go
until
through
next
other
year.
than you guys
I mean, it's
pulling out
in
of
the
supporting
process
it?
right now.
Like,
Guys, it's in the process.
and when it does sell.
The purchase agreement, the transaction, has already been approved by EA's board of directors. They said this in the press release. And sure, the shareholders have to vote on this deal in the end, but they don't announce these things without near complete certainty. They offer the shareholders
I love
a
Castaway.
very
You guys
generous
keep talking about it. I
premium
love
on the
it.
stock price. These investors overpaid by nearly $15 billion.
Oh, it's
That
so
is
over.
how much they want this company. So yeah, they're paying a premium on the stock price.
And again,
Yeah,
how
it's 'cause they
badly
want
they want it
fucking
just makes me
FIFA.
even more nervous.
The
Doesn't EA
shareholders
have
will
FIFA?
approve this deal, and I think most people, not just me, but like people who know more about this than I,
Also, these shareholders and stuff don't give a fuck about the company if they get their
are
payout.
very confident that this deal will go through in 6 to 9 months. I have no doubts about that, and if you think otherwise, maybe it's wishful thinking. But toward the end of this video, things start getting a little weird.
That's why I need to say this clearly. Creators and players who are calling for a boycott right now are only making the situation worse.
Oh goodness gracious me! Oh, that's when my generosity leaves. Oh, that's when my generosity
Sorry, what?
leaves.
For you or for the players?
Doing it now without
Oh, that's super disappointing.
more than normal.
That's super disappointing.
facts is acting out of fear and ignorance.
Towards the end of this video, I can sort of feel his emotions coming through, and I can tell that he's very worried as a content creator. When you're a content creator and
I
you only
sympathize
focus
with
on
it.
one game, you rely on the success of that game. And when that one game is supplementing your income or providing your entire livelihood, hearing people say, I'm boycotting this game is a threat to you. Because if people aren't actively playing the game, they're not going to tune into your DLC reviews, or your
Not
Let's
DSI.
Plays, or your lore video.
I loved playing, what was it, like, Brain Tech or something like that? I really wish I had Tamagotchi Life whenever I was younger, because I really
Yeah,
wanted the
EA's
Switch
got all the
version of it.
sports games. I think they're
For
trying to
that
rebrand
game.
because they
And
bought
this
a bunch of
concept
sports
is
teams.
terrifying to these
That's why I think they're
content
trying to buy the
creators, not
sports
just GONE,
games as
Brand-
well. to
branding
help
habits
rebrand.
is so
all
good.
of them. I know right here he's saying
I
that
know,
if
right?
the
That
Sims
was-
4
it's
isn't
'cause I
selling
shoved
well
most of it in the
because
closet,
people
to be fair.
boycott it, then the new owners will likely stop
shoved a
working
lot
on
of
the
it in the
game and
closet.
will lay off employees. And
Actually,
Good point. People not playing the game means that the game is less valuable to the new investors, so they'll just give up on it.
that's true.
Boycotts at this moment would almost certainly contribute to job losses for the very people at EA and Maxis who make.
okay, they should
very
probably have thought of that
manipulative.
before
This sucks.
selling to
And now is
fucking
not the
Saudi
time.
Arabia. Then
Once we have clear proof
I
or an
don't
official
care enough about the
Oh, it already
employees
is. Oh,
to
this is
continue
upsetting.
supporting a
About
game
where The Sims is
through
heading,
bad
then we can
ownership
act.
But-
Girl,
just because I
where's it
want them to
going?
keep
We
their
go to
jobs.
Saudi
Guess
Arabia.
who's
The Sims
immediately getting
community
fired,
deadass
by the
should
way?
have boycotted this
Everyone
game
who
5
works
years
for them.
ago. We
Because
could have had
guess
a
who's
Sims
fucking
5 by
gay
now
as
that's way
hell
superior to
and
the
definitely
Sims
not chill
4.
with Saudi
Wow,
Arabia.
in another
The people who
universe.
work
In
on the
another
Sims
universe.
game.
If people actually stop
Like-
buying this stuff. So I completely
They're
disagree.
gonna
they got
get
away with the bare
fired. They're
minimum.
gonna
You
just
should be
end the
boycotting.
game.
Now is the time.
They're
better
just
than
gonna
any,
kill it.
because nothing you do or I do is gonna save this franchise. It's too little, too late. Just like that Mary J. Blige song. It's already going down.
Yeah, I agree.
I love
And
this
if I
song.
were working at EA right
It's-
now,
it's
that resume would be
way too
updated. I would
lost.
have my references in order because no
Think
matter
they
which
should
way we
just
cut it,
leave?
there will be
If they're
collateral
worried,
damage.
they should
People are gonna
fucking
lose
It's
quit.
so
jobs
over.
regardless.
Everyone
I
should
hate to break
quit,
it to
and
you.
then
That
maybe,
$20 billion loan they
that would
took
get
out
them
for
to
this
like.
deal is not going
Also
to pay
Ronaldo.
itself. They're going to be laying off workers and shutting down studios left and right. But here's what
But,
really
like,
confuses me. At the beginning
They
of
should
this
just
video,
shut it down.
Bond states that
Everyone
he's a member
stop
of the
supporting it,
LGBTQ
and then maybe
community.
they'll
I want to be open
offer
about
to
who
sell
I am,
the
and I
Sims
came out as
alone
bisexual about
to
2 years
Maxis,
ago.
like sell
throughout
it
the
back to
video,
Maxis
he
or
completely ignores the elephant
something.
in the room, which is
But,
that
like,
supporting this game once the deal
just
closes
going
means
along
you're
with it
supporting a
is
government
definitely
that
not gonna get
commits
you the result
egregious
that you
human
want.
rights abuses, particularly against his own community.
I think that's something that's so disappointing. And again, it's like I have a level of sympathy
Katie?
when it comes to these people being hit with
Bitch, do
basically
you
their
think
job
I'm
on the
Katie?
line. But also, specifically as well, one thing that upsets me is like the Sims community at large
What?
is predominantly queer people and women. And I just think that specifically if you are a creator that is one of those, that you should be speaking up right now. It's important. Like, it really is.
Can't not acknowledge this. all these people have focused so much on like, will they remove gays from the game?
Some creators, myself included,
Like, they probably
worry that this new
won't,
ownership could undo the
but
progress
they will
EA
remove
has
all the
made with
gays
diversity and
making it.
And that's a good point as
Like,
well.
they
Like,
will
yes,
just
they can do that, but
create, like,
also the money of the
false
game is now
shit.
funding what they
inclusion
do
in games
to the
like
gays.
Sims. And let me be clear.
Like, it doesn't
I will
matter if
never
they
support a
allow gay
company
people
that
to still be
refuses
in The
to let
Sims
me
or not.
express or
They're
represent
literally
myself.
funding
That's
killing
why I
gay
cut
people
ties with Enjoy,
actively.
and The
So
Sims won't
fuck
get a
off.
pass if it comes to that.
I'm pretty sure we should be more concerned about the real lives of real LGBTQ individuals
Dude, don't
than
get me
the
started
characters
on
in
the
a video
comedians
game.
who went
he
there.
says he cares about the employees of EA.
It's awful. And I hate that EA employees
I bet you
are probably
anything
anxious about
in
their jobs
5
right now.
years,
But how do
or
you
maybe
think the
less with how things are
LGBTQ
moving,
employees or the
we are
women at
absolutely
EA
going
are
to see a
grappling with the
uptick
idea
in
that
people that
their
are like,
work will
guys,
be
Saudi Arabia is
enriching
not
an
that
authoritarian regime
bad.
that
You guys are
executes
being
gay people and
racist for
imprisons women's
thinking
rights
that. I bet you
activists.
fucking
Wow.
anything that is
I
going
agree
to
with that
happen
concern. An
whenever
anonymous
people
EA worker
start bringing
told
up that
GameFile
shit. That's
that,
going
quote,
to happen
Andrew
soon.
Wilson
The
basically
more
said,
they
"F
buy
you
up
to
sports
all women
teams
and
and get
LGBTQ
normies on their
employees
fucking
at
side,
EA."
the
And
more
again,
that shit
it
is
is
gonna
just crazy
fucking
how
happen.
many of their
And it's
games
gonna
really
piss me the
rely on
fuck
those
off.
demographics.
With this deal, I don't know if Gons deliberately ignored this message in his video. He does tend to glaze The Sims and EA, but if the whole point of your video is to give the facts of the deal,
But I'm here to give you facts and context so we can look at this with perspective without panic, hate, or jumping to conclusions.
you forgot to talk about the
Exactly.
most alarming of all those facts.
Exactly.
And that's where your money will be going and what it will be supporting after this
Patrick,
deal closes.
are you having a
It's
fucking
really
stroke
fascinating
again?
how
Are you having a little
uncomfortable
fucking
people are with the
schizophrenic breakdown in
reality of
chat?
this buyout,
Who the fuck are you
downplaying
talking
it,
to?
getting
Specifically, now is when we have to be
being
talking about it
angry,
as well.
ignoring and dismissing the facts altogether. But is this behavior new to the Sims community? Like I
No,
said, these are
it's
some
not
of the
new.
same people who have convinced themselves that this game they've spent $1,500
It's gonna be the same
on
shit they're
is
doing with
actually
fucking
worth it.
Dubai
You know,
right
the
now. They're
overpriced,
gonna try
undercooked,
doing that with Saudi
lackluster, bugged
Arabia.
out mess of a game.
Which,
If you
honestly,
can
it's not
convince
that far
yourself
off
that
of a
any
place
game is
anyway,
worth
so-
$1,500, then you can also convince yourself that it's not that bad to keep
It's
supporting
like people who
a
travel
game
to
that
North
will be
Korea, like,
enabling
guys, it's
human
totally
rights
fine. Look at this
abuses. That is
grocery store they
really
brought
how
me to.
intense
There's so
the
much
code
fresh
is in this
fruit.
community. I've seen a few comments here and there where people have been saying, instead of focusing on influencers,
Patrick's
I
about to
should
get blocked
be
from the whole
focusing
stream if
all
he
my
fucking
criticism on the
continues.
investors. But what am I going to say to the PIF?
I've put up with his
or Jared
schizophrenic
Kushner?
rants for long
The
enough.
people have the power. I know
I
in
have
times
zero
like this, it's
patience
very
today.
hard to remember
or
that.
Andrew
But my
Wilson,
God,
that will make them change their minds.
just give
they
up,
don't give a
people.
damn what I say or any YouTuber says, because they're
Yeah.
getting their bag and that's all that concerns them. But with content creators, I believe they can
Like,
approach
if
the
every
situation
single
with a bit
person
more
left,
humanity.
that would
And
make
they
me
might
say
be
something.
a little bit more
But they won't
willing
do
to
that.
listen, unlike the Saudi government or Andrew Wilson. They call them influencers for a reason.
that.
You know, they do have a lot of influence. So when a content
I hate
creator
it.
sees their community talking about these important issues like the PIF and what our purchases are supporting, these influencers might reconsider their own stance. And they might take action that in turn encourages their own audience to also take action. And if enough
They
people
won't.
start doing something,
They
it
won't.
could actually
Okay,
affect
chat. I finished
change
cleaning the room
within
faster than I
EA
thought I
or
was going to.
change part
True.
of this buyout in a way that benefits all of us. Or
I think as well that point about like even just changing the deal in the slightest, which obviously it won't, but this deal's going forward, so let's just like try to work with what we've got. I think first of all, this is a great video. I think the good point he makes is like the Sims community, yeah, the reason that The Sims 4 has gone on for as long as it has is because even though we know the packs are bad, a majority of the fans still buy them. So the bare minimum has been allowed. I need to sneeze. Oh my god. That was crazy. You know, the Sims team, specifically EA,
Yeah, exactly,
now know
Jeffu.
that the
It's a lot
community
like
will
Singapore.
accept the bare minimum and pay for it. So they know that even if the community would be pissed off at the Saudi Arabia deal,
Or like
people would
Evil
probably still invest
Disneyland.
money in it because, hey, we've been charging you for a broken game and broken packs and shitty packs for so long.
It's
I
like
think this is a
evil,
great video.
bigoted
It's
Disneyland.
disappointing, and again, now is the
That's what it
time.
feels like
People
for
are like,
me.
well, take it up with Saudi Arabia.
It's like,
well,
if you really
no,
like
if we
owning
all speak up these
slaves,
Sims YouTubers as
go
well,
there instead of
then there's
Disneyland.
applied pressure. I know that it affects
Like,
these
that's
people's
the vibe.
livelihood, and I know, but like they have the
Like,
ability
casual
to
slave
tweak
ownership
it in
is the
some way.
vibe.
The Sims to be sold separately.
like,
you know what I mean?
woke.
Like these things can still happen.
Because
Ugh.
trendy Dubai chocolate.
Lame. But not Malcolm. Love the video. Love the video, King. Shout out to you.
No, Evil Disney is Dubai. Evil Disney is Dubai. It's literally Disney for evil people. All right. Well, I was gonna have us watch the Not Malcolm video, but he kind of reacted to it anyway, so we don't really need to watch it again. Right. They get paid a cent. Therefore, it's technically not slavery. Like, Oh, right. There was a book. We don't have enough time, though. There was a book review I wanted to watch with you guys, but we don't have enough time to watch it. Hello. True. He's hanging out. Ooh, Amanda posted a new video. Okay, actually, you know what? We're gonna do this because we're gonna watch this. We're just gonna watch random YouTube videos. That's what we're gonna do. Maybe I'll draw. Yeah, we're gonna watch Swell. Yes.
I was already...
Shh. I have to pull it up. What? See, Lemon? See, we're on the same wavelength. Sorry for making you rewatch it with us.
I was already sick of seeing these things at conventions, but now they're showing up at the makers markets that I go to in my free time, and I hate them even more. That's it. That's my intro.
Okay, turn it down slightly.
Hi, I'm Amanda. You're watching Swell Entertainment. I go to
This
a lot
hurts,
of
is better.
events. Okay. I make a lot of content here on YouTube, on this channel even.
No, this
events,
this
of
specific
conventions
topic
and
is such
gatherings
a
and things that I go to and review for you. Okay, and so in doing
This
that,
arises
my
such fury within
breadth
me.
of my
It pisses
own
me off so
personal experiences when it comes to types of vendors and trends that I see in vendors and sellers and the like at events has grown over the years, and
This
I
is
notice
so
certain
frustrating.
patterns. I notice it a lot when I go to
Who's
let's say
been to a
one convention one year and I go to the same
recently?
convention a year later, and I start noticing let's say a lack of booths,
I'm
of
shocked that
massive
they're not
major
at the
sponsors,
comic
things like that.
events
And I'm
as
like,
well,
oh, God,
actually.
the economy's not.
I literally went to
This is bad.
a
I see
Christmas
things
market,
like that, but
and
then
they
I
were
also
there.
see the rise of a certain type of what I call convention slop. So what happens often at these booths is that they are full of 3D printed items that are based on files or printed via files that are either free, widely available, or extremely discounted. And so that's where you see a lot of these, okay? And there's usually different colors and things like that. Now, I have a couple of 3D printed items here. I have a dice that I won at Open Sauce, okay? I have a ghost that I paid for, and I have a little, quote, autism creature that I was gifted by a viewer at an artist alley. It sits on my back shelf normally. I'm
Here's
sure
my
I
little
have other
3D. I didn't
3D
buy
printed
these, though.
items in my
My
apartment.
fiance
But the
made
thing
them.
about these 3D printed things is often I would say the dragon is the most readily identifiable one. But I feel like these things are not always the most expensive. They're fairly cheap.
Yeah, if
but
there
there's
is at
usually
all
not
an
much
artist's
variation in
alley
them
of any
from
type,
event to
they are
event,
there,
aside
I
from
promise
potentially
you.
colors. But there's usually hundreds of them at these booths, okay? And I won't lie, I go in and I fidget with them. I make them try and stand up. I make them make little weird shapes because I'm a tactile person and I'm annoying. But I don't
And I'm
buy
annoying.
them, okay? I've never bought one of these dragon things. They're often advertised as fidget toys because, you know, you can articulate them and mess with them and things like that. And they're fun to play with on your desk, let's say. The 3D printed dragons and 3D printed mass easily available items like this are the things
so
like,
annoying.
you could argue this is mass available, this 20-sided die. These things are irritating people to see because it's like this is just taking up space of a booth, and a lot of conventions don't care because it's more vendors, fees, and these things are usually decent sized booths. I've definitely been to conventions where there's 3 or 4 of these booths there, you know, and
Yeah,
I've been there where there's 1 or 2. I have been
It's
seeing
one thing
more
if there's
of these when
one
I go
single
to
booth that someone's doing
makers
this.
markets. So
But,
lately,
like, at
in
SoccerCon,
my free
for
time, when I'm
example,
not traveling, I
it's
have been going to
every
quite
5
a lot
booths
of
you
makers
go to,
markets and craft
it's
fairs
one
and
of
things like that
these.
in the Los
Like,
Angeles
it
area.
is
You guys don't see these videos typically. Sometimes I'm like, oh, I'll make a short video or something like
no,
that.
it's a
if I
step
decide
down
to.
from the cheap
But I often
keychains
decide
from
not
China.
to
I'd
because
actually
I'm
rather
usually
than just
not
straight drop ship
intrigued
things.
by what I see.
Like
lately.
the drop shipping stores,
And I
they
think it
like
would be mean for
curate
me to
stuff at
call out
least to the point they
makers
have like
markets
some type of
and
brand
go at these
identity.
vendors at these
Because
makers
there's
markets,
plenty of drop
'cause there's
shipping
usually
places
not a lot of
at
them, and
conventions
you guys
too.
will be able to identify
they
them
actually
extremely
have
quickly.
something
I should note as well,
happening
like
there.
let's say with
but
this
these
little
are
picture,
made so
okay,
fucking
this
shit.
was something that was like also
so
being sold at this artist booth. I apologize, I don't remember your name, and I don't think it's on here. It is not. These were not like the main thing they were selling, and quite a lot of, I would say, artist alleys and things like that. They have items in their booth
That's
that
funny.
are 3D printed that they kind of use as like a extra thing, like, oh, I designed this so I sell it and things like that. But they're not like the dragons. Like, I think there is a difference between a 3D printed item and a 3D printed item that is widely available on the, you know, file sites for these. I'm on printables right now looking around. The top 4 downloaded ones that have all been downloaded about 80,000 times are all various versions of the articulated dragons. The other thing is the dragon egg that looks like the Game of Thrones dragon's egg.
Yeah.
Those are the popular ones. Now there's a lot of different innovations in 3D printing that I've seen. I've seen
Like, they
people,
don't
obviously,
even
the classical
sand
weapons.
them.
A lot of
They
people are
literally
making 3D
print it
printed,
at
like,
such a
fabric so they can use it in cosplay
layer
and things like that. That's cool. But that's not
size
what
that,
I'm
like, you
talking
can
about here. I'm
see
talking
so
about
many
the
of the lines.
mass-produced 3D printed junk that is ending up at these conventions that someone's going to play with once, break in half, and then maybe throw in the trash, and then now we have more plastic waste. This is not too far off from
So
a couple
much
of years
plastic
ago when
waste.
everyone was complaining about the amount of resin items that were ending up on Etsy and the like. Now, resin items and things like that are still being sold. I personally don't buy any resin pieces if I can help it. If I'm, let's say, even tempted by something at an artist alley, it's usually not something that's like a resin ashtray or something like that. But like, that's where I feel like we're getting there, because I definitely see way less resin items now. But although I do feel like that comes into the fact that a lot of people have been better at articulating and communicating the risk of even working with resin, with the fumes and things like that. A lot of people were not at the time.
People didn't
were
know that
not
for some reason.
using resin in like properly ventilated spaces or with proper protection equipment and things like that. And it's like, yeah, you're just inhaling fumes. So I think that led to people like just buying less resin kits. Although that just could be my algorithm.
I think
not
it's
showing me the
also
resin,
just that
the
people
rise of
started
resin. I see
realizing
it
that
far less
resin
at conventions
yellows
now, I
after a
would
certain
say.
point, and it doesn't
But
really
I see
look
these
good
things,
after a
3D
bit.
printed items, growing. The other thing I've been seeing a lot of is vendors that are selling things that they bought off of Amazon. Now, could they also be selling things on Amazon? Yes. But for example, when I go with Anarchy to places, my friend Anarchy, some of you guys have maybe heard me mention her. She goes with me to a lot of the anime conventions.
Like, when I go to the artist alley, I want it to be artists.
And so we always stop at like
selling
the
their
nail
art.
booths when she would like to go and see those, because obviously she wants to see cute nail designs. And so it's weird for her to be like, no, I'm not going to buy the nails. I was like, oh, you like those ones? And she was like, yeah, but then I saw the ones next to it, and it's like, I've seen those on Amazon. Amazon, yes, could be ripping these things off, but also these people could just be repackaging these things from Amazon or AliExpress and the like, and selling them for
Not
way
drop
more
shippers.
at these vendor booths. There's also that. Now there are, I want to make it clear, legitimate nail artists that are making and designing their own nail art and selling nails and such at these events. There are also some that are just repackaging things, okay? And so that's irritating, but that's a convention. You know, not necessarily, you know, a maker's mark. The nails one is one that I hear from other people a lot more, okay? Because I'm just not familiar with that world, frankly. What I've also been seeing is the little potentially crocheted items. Crochet is not something that can be mass made the way that knitting can be done. So I get really hesitant about the cutesy little crocheted items at conventions, because I'm like, okay, who is making all of these? I've seen a couple of these booths, like the crochet flowers are very popular. I've been seeing many of those at makers markets lately, and I do believe they are crocheted. Okay, because it's one thing if it's like, if I see an art, like when I'm walking through an artist alley and I see someone sitting there and they're like,
are you buying
knit,
these
like
from
crocheting
AliExpress and stuff?
bonnet
Are you
or something
buying them
as I am there
from
talking with them?
places like that?
I'm like,
Because
okay, cool. I feel more
that is
comfortable
slave
with,
labor
at the very least,
that is
this booth
doing that.
existing here.
There
Or
is
they're
no
like, talking like, oh
machine
yeah, here's my
that
mom,
can
she does all the
replicate that
crochet and things like that. Here's
at
a
that
photo
price.
For, like, she loves this design.
That has
things
to be
like
slave
that. Like when
labor,
there's a story
'cause
there, when it's just
that doesn't
someone just
make
kind
any
of taking
sense.
money because they're selling these like giant things, I'm like, who made all of these? That's where my concern like flares up. Seemingly mass-produced like mini crochet
literally
keychains of like Captain America
can't
that
do
you
that.
see at a Comic-Con type event. So William's been traveling, so this was actually filmed before I went to LA Comic-Con.
So quiet.
And yet LA Comic-Con could have fit into this video so incredibly well. The amount of slop, the 3D printed dragons, the blind boxes, but they're all the same blind boxes with licensing, but there's like 80 booths. All of the different knit booths where everyone has a different name on their booth, but they all have the exact same items. I'm sorry, that's crazy. Those guys get concerned about who's making those. But I've been seeing those at makers markets as well. So again, either people are falling off the same pattern, or these items are being sourced from the same places. You know what I'm saying? Because it's the same style of character, it's the same style of item. And then we also have, again, maybe this is just me, this is just a personal gripe of makers markets. I'm sorry, the mid-sized jewelry pocket right now of makers markets, none of you are intriguing to me. And again, I'm on a no-buy year, so like I think that's also helping things as well, where I'm looking at things not from the lens of I'm going to buy that. I'm looking at through the lens of what am I tempted by more than anything, because I'm not buying things. So I think that's where I'm like able to look at things where so many jewelry items in the mid-sized price points of what is at these makers markets, and I always check, I'm like, okay, is this the same one? They're always the exact same.
Honestly, I should do that next
like,
year. We should do
where
a
it's a
no-buy
lot
year
of
next year.
dainty, basic
We're kind of doing that like halfway this year.
A lot of
but
things are
we should fully
gold-plated.
do
Much of
next
it
year.
looks like it's a ripoff of, let's say, Bottega. Barely concealed Louis Vuitton logos. A Tiffany knockoff. You know, it's a lot of items that are referencing other items as a dupe.
Oh,
but for a not,
I hate that.
I wouldn't say similar price point, because obviously a lot of these initial items are like thousands of dollars, hundreds of dollars, but they're not cheap enough for the quality of which you are making them at. That's what I'm seeing a lot of. The other thing that I've been seeing a lot of is that someone has their homemade stuff, and then they are also selling lafufus alongside their homemade stuff to get you to go to their booth. And I get it, but also no, I don't like it.
No,
I don't like it.
that.
The 3D printed items, though, at makers markets, I think is the one that I've been seeing the most complaints about. Because I had this all personal feeling of mine with a couple of makers markets. I'd been to like 2 or 3 back to back that I like wasn't going to post about any of them because I was just like wildly disappointed. Same with, again, selling items that are drop shipped and the like, and it's like you're just like trying to branch out into like an in-person market type of thing. Which again, I don't know how much of this is going to change, obviously, because of the current tariff situation. Rise of the AI printed items is because AI
that might
printers
be
have
the
gotten
one
much
benefit
more
of the
affordable
tariff
for a lot of
situation
people.
is less
Things like
drop
that. As the
shippers.
technology is developed, the same that happens with all technology developing. I'm just sick of seeing it. Come up with a new design. Amanda, that's difficult and or expensive. Yeah. Don't you want to do something different though? We have enough dragons. I never thought I would say that as a fantasy lover, but we have enough dragons. At conventions and
Unintentional
makers markets.
benefit.
I'm shocked makers markets are
The only
allowing
good
AI
side.
printed items at this point, though. But I
Potentially
get it.
less
I
drop
do.
shippers.
Obviously, it is a matter of making things, but craft fairs and things like that allowing items that are mass produced of this
That's what I was
regard,
talking
where
about.
it's
Like
like
the-
this is from a free
like a
pattern and
straight
not something
craft
that the
fair.
creator itself, the seller,
Like
made.
that's so crazy.
In that regard, like just simply the act of making something via a 3D printer you own, I don't think is enough in this regard. I do
Like,
think we need to
that's
show
not-
that it's, you know, an original design. But I don't know who's making these makers markets, so that's just me. I was already having this opinion, and I was
so
talking about it
bad.
on stream, and I was like,
It's
I don't know
so
if I want to make a
bad.
video on this. Maybe I will. Maybe I was going to write,
We have
you know, a
too
post
many
for the glasses
dragons.
file. That's my newsletter. If you want to go check it out, it's linked down below. I figured I was going to do that, and then I started getting some TikToks.
No,
maybe because my
Jeff,
phone was
ew.
always listening to me, always that. But I started getting TikToks like this.
No more
How many
slop.
craft fairs or like art fairs have I shown up to, and then all of it is just garbage, caca, drop shipped, 3D printed, garbage. It'll be like keychains. People are a bunch of people selling keychains of dog breeds, but you know it's not like they designed the dogs and the keychain or anything. That, you know, it's just they're buying junk online, and then maybe they put it together with one step, and then they're selling it at a maker's market. Everybody's booths are giving that they started the craft or art and the booth at the same time. The second that they started making it, they also immediately started selling whatever caca they own. I want to see quilts. I want to see candle makers. I want to see artists. I want to see people making weird things. Everything's just so TikTok-y. It's all TikTok shop fodder.
So this is from Josie
Oh my God,
Josie
yeah, it
on
is.
TikTok, and I completely agree. Where she made the sentiment of it feels like you started your shop at the same time as you started this hobby.
Yeah. That's how I feel
And
about
I
all
get
the
it, as
fucking
someone
girls who
who's
joined
self-employed, buy the hobby
OnlyFans
that
during the
makes money or
pandemic.
whatever. But like, it doesn't
Like,
even feel like you have like a real joy
it's
with
the
this
same
hobby. You're like,
energy.
I need something that's going to make money. Oh, I can
Like,
do
what
this.
are you doing
okay.
here?
The comment
Your heart
section has
is
a few
not in
other,
this.
you
Why
know,
the fuck are you
bits
doing
in
it?
it that I thought were interesting. We've got and the tumbler cups. So the tumbler cups are
but that
you know
makes
like
sense,
those tumblers
Jeffro.
where you buy
That's
them.
what 3D
cheap,
printing
then
is good
you
for.
Take, let's
Very
say, a Cricut
specific
machine.
utility
Okay, Cricut is like
things.
a
Or,
thing where you can
like,
like kind of cut out paper and stickers and then like heat press them
Mock-ups.
onto items.
You know?
Very popular with PTA mom scene, I
Yeah,
would say.
the
At least
girls who
that
buy
was my
houses
experience
after a
growing up when
month
Crickets came out. My
and
Girl Scout
only
troop
post
leader loved
pictures
cricketing everything
on
for
their
us. The
Instagram.
tumbler cups is probably one of the more popular
that
things
could
to
be
do
posted to their
because then that's
Instagram.
something that you can do a lot
So
of
annoying.
fairly quickly and then sell. And you can do things like, let's say, a Nightmare Before Christmas, easy to customize to make it like a trendy item and things like that. I don't want them, so I don't know where you're getting these tumbler cups from. Oftentimes they're just drop shipping the tumbler cups themselves. I don't know how many times you guys tested these things when they were the TikTok shop purge happened like a year or so ago. I made a video on this if you'd like to go see it. I don't know if I talked about this in there, but it was found that some of the items that people were buying from these TikTok shop things did include lead in these tumbler cups because they were selling
surprising.
knockoff like Stanley cups. Like they weren't real Stanley cups, they were knockoff ones. And they were like, these are way cheaper than like buying them via Stanley. And it's like, yeah, because it's made with nefarious means and there's lead in it.
Stanley also has lead.
That's
but
why
yeah.
it got taken down
still
because you
stands.
guys were selling stuff with lead in it. Because you were just claiming that they were Stanley cups. Like, it's things like that. Not to say that all tumbler cups being sold at makers markets and conventions are going to have lead in them. I'm just saying, I don't know where you source these from. I don't like it. And then people are like, and then real crafters can't afford booking fees.
Yep.
Every year, it feels like I get tagged in, I either get sent emails or I get tagged.
Honestly,
You guys have
this is
seen
the
a
reason
lot
I'm
where
not
people
really
are
going to
complaining about
conventions
booking fees
anymore
and
is
table
because
fees
it's
and things
all
like that for
just
vendors.
slop.
This happens. We're seeing this again. The economy's a mess right now. I was talking about this where someone
It's slop,
explained like
it's
it feels like we're being
overcrowded,
paid
and it
we're
just
being
feels
charged more
like
for worse
the
items,
effort is
worse service. Same
not
goes with
there.
again vendors
And the
fees
price
going
is
up at
up.
events that are like not up to par or just like not well run,
It's
etc. And
like,
so
yes,
it's like yeah, you're charging
AI
you more
but
money
no,
for
I mean
less people
more
to
so
come
just like the
because you're not
straight up
advertising, you're not
junk.
spending money on advertisement, but you're trying to raise costs for us so you can make more money. It's annoying. It's either acrylic keychains for $5 or ceramics for $500. I agree. I do feel like I personally like seeing ceramics at makers markets. However, I do feel like a lot of ceramics look exactly the same now. Same thing as the jewelry thing. It's just a lot of overlap. The reason I've started going to makers markets, even just to explore as someone who's not doing a no-buy, is because Etsy is borderline unusable now. Just straight up unusable. It's all drop shipping stuff. It's a lot of AI images.
And
it's
I don't
a
even,
lot of 3D
like,
printed items.
dude,
although I do
trying
believe
to
that there is
buy
a new
VTuber stuff
thing
and
as of
trying
June
to
of this
avoid
year,
AI
according to
is
CNET.com.
so
Etsy is clamping down on
hard.
3D printed
It
products.
is
Here's how it
so
could affect you.
hard
Etsy has
to,
clarified some of its
like,
policies
buy
and some of the way
any
they now
art
read.
stuff
You might
online
not be able to
without
sell your
having
3D printed
fucking
dragon
AI
anymore. Here's the
bullshit in it.
updated thing that that apparently left many sellers confused. Items produced using computerized tools. Physical items that a seller produced in their physical shop or home using computerized tools such as a laser printer, 3D printer, CNC, or Cricut machine. These items must be produced based on a seller's original design and are often personalized or customized to a buyer's specification. An Etsy spokesperson told me that the above policy has always been Etsy's standard position on products that are made by sellers. The area I have added emphasis to is the part that has been edited.
You know
Originally,
what
the
I
Etsy
noticed
guidelines
a lot
included the phrase or using
Fansly?
a templated design or pattern, which seemed
amount
to
of
allow for the
girls
use of designs from
that
3D
have,
modelers. By removing this section and keeping the part about the original designs, it
AI
seems that
art
they say that each
banners
seller must design the
or
digital file
avatars
themselves, as well as print it out,
or-
process it, and ship it out.
And I'm not
Etsy
talking
has
like
said
the
this
ones with like
update is policy
the AI filter
in policy
over a
is to
photo of
clarify its
themselves.
position rather than change it.
I'm
According to
talking
the
like
creative
fully
guidelines, an item that
generated
doesn't
like
qualify
AI
as
art.
a commercially available base item with only superficial alterations, such as an addition of a simple mass-produced stick-on or adornment. The sticking point seems to be the commercially available part, as a lot of 3D print sellers on Etsy use a commercial license from 3D modelers as a source to create physical models. I mean, if this cuts down on the inusability of Etsy,
she's the worst with it.
I'm not mad because it's
So
just a lot of
cringe.
slop. It's frustrating to like go through Etsy. Like I searched up 3D print on Etsy, and like a lot of there's like a good 6
just
things
AI.
out of the. There's multiple dragons. There's just multiple dragons. There's now 3D printed Labubu models. Oh, this is fun. It's an articulated armadillo. I'm going back to Josie's comment section here. Some people were saying, "Are y'all gonna pay for quilts?"
Because the thing is,
most
like,
frequent
whoever
comment I get is
created
that I
that
charge too much. Everybody wants
3D
high quality
file
art that takes years
first.
to learn to
That,
do,
like,
and
it's
almost
pretty
nobody
impressive
can or will pay for
on
it,
its
which is not
own.
the fault of anyone involved at this level.
Removed
This is
from
systemic,
the
but
fact that
it is
people
the
have
reason.
used it to create
I
more
also
junk.
think we have this problem of no one has money right now. A lot of people would love to have a handmade item like a quilt of quality, and they don't have the funds for it. I don't think that necessarily means that any artisan is charging too much for it. I haven't seen it, obviously, or anything like that, so I don't know. But
Yeah.
we also run the issue
I mean, the economy
of
is
people
bad,
can't
so
afford things. They
luxury
would like
items
to, but they
cost
can't.
more like
That does not
luxury
mean that you
items
should
than they normally would.
haggle
And
your
we're
items
used to
down or
them
anything
being
like
very
that.
easily
That means you're gonna sell maybe 2 instead of 18. Things are rough.
gotten for a while.
I don't know how else to explain that. I don't think the answer is let's allow 3D printed slop at marketplaces for crafters. That's my personal take. People saying they want niche, they want unique. Someone said pulling up to the market and it's just the TikTok shop. You guys know my feelings on TikTok
Are
shop.
you
Someone said in my
slow or
area
something?
it's
What do
all
you
those
mean?
horrendous
Like how
ribbon wreaths,
tattoo
kids'
artists
bows,
use printed stencils.
Timu garden flags, and
Yeah,
I feel like
just
people
like
don't
how
want to
normal
learn
artists
skills and
use
people
a sketch
also don't want to
underneath their
pay
line
for
art.
something
Are you
made
fucking
with
dumb?
skill. I would say yes. Like I said, I feel like the economy is a mess, and people
Do you
I think don't
because
understand
tattoo artists use a
the-
stencil, it's somehow
maybe the
not art?
time and skill that goes into items
You know that it takes
are made
skill
with skill,
to
but I
actually
think that's
apply
again, like
the
I said,
stencil
I mentioned Amazon
using the
earlier in this
medium,
video.
yeah?
I do think we can just get it super quick. We can get it super fast. We can get it.
Holy
same
shit,
day.
you're fucking
Kind of
stupid.
Diminishes the amount of work that goes into the items being made, even if it is something that's, let's say,
Like, what do you mean?
headphones. You know,
If
like,
you
there are
were
people that
like
don't
using a
understand,
temporary
like, the different
tattoo, then
elements and
maybe
the
you could make that
technical cost
argument.
of
But like,
making an
what?
item like that. So of course, they're not going to fully understand. the
Oh my
quilt,
God,
which is
you're a
something
fucking
that they've just kind of
tattoo
seen,
elitist?
let's
Yeah, I'm
say, a
banning
family
you.
member doing for certain years of them growing up. It's like, oh yeah, my mom makes quilts. Why would I pay you
Tattoo elitist,
$200
get
for a handmade
Goodbye.
quilt when my mom can make it? Like, that's the thing that I always think about this. So my dad loves doing this to me because I'm a crafty person. You guys don't always see this, but I'm a crafty person. I've been sewing, crocheting, knitting,
So
the like
stupid.
since I was embroidering since I was 6. I can
Imagine
make a
going
lot
to
of
a
things.
tattoo artist and you're like, okay,
However,
here's what I want.
Things
And they're
take
like,
time to make. So
No.
oftentimes when I'm out and about with my
I
dad
only do
or something,
freehands.
or at a store or something, and I'm like,
art.
oh, this is nice, and he knows
Like,
I'm on a no buy, but we've been part of
um,
this. He's been doing this for years.
okay, you can
He
cancel
just
my
goes,
appointment then.
"Oh, you can
Never
make that."
mind.
And I'm like, probably. Do I have the time to make it? Would I make it to this quality? Would I make it to this level? You know, that type of thing. There's a lot of things that can be made that I probably could make, but I also acknowledge there are people that are way better than me that have been way more focused, who don't just use crafting as something they like to do as a hobby and are instead are like very
Like-
dedicated to learning the skill and being good at the skill that are
Dude,
going to
if
make
you
it way
want to
better
just, like,
than me.
print
You know what I'm
money, go
saying?
work
and I
at a
feel like
bank.
that's the sentiment for a lot of people where it's like
Like-
if they know a crafty person, they're like, oh, my friend can make that. but
It's
I
like
also
the
have
fucking
audacity where I'm
bitch
like,
from the
currently in my
Wordle
Nova
book.
year, I have an insane amount of audacity where I'm like, I can make that, and
It's
I
the
probably
Wordle
can.
bitch.
Will I do that?
Oh my
No,
God,
I've been working
chat,
on the
it's the
same crochet
Wordle
project
bitch.
since January. It's not even very good. It's just like a weird little lap blanket because I don't want to buy new.
They wanna be an artist
yarn, so I'm
without
just
ever
using the yarn
putting
that
in
I have.
any work
That's
to
it.
learn
I do it when I'm
art.
stressed, when I'm watching TV.
They just want to be like, I'm an artist.
That's what I do. Could I make a sweater? Sure. Will I?
Without
Probably
being
not. Would I
artistic.
be willing to spend money on a good sweater? Yes, not currently. I'm doing a no buy year. Okay, let me put it this way as well.
It's
Because of
just
tabling
like the
fees,
girl in the, oh no.
we also could be seeing a rise
We've come
of
full circle.
Makers Market slop, craft fair slop, like as I've been saying, just called slop, at these markets because those are the ones that can afford these tabling fees. Because there are real makers, real crafters, artisans, wow, that want to table at these events, but they don't want to. They don't want to pay these fees because they'd rather just go and make more items and then hopefully maybe get a sale on Instagram or something. Like the physical act of going and buying a table at these things is becoming so out of reach for the actual artisans that that's why we are seeing these slop people fill in these gaps.
Yeah,
Maybe
that's
these
so
makers markets
true.
also don't want slop at these makers markets, but they're the ones paying the table fees. Then it becomes a whole symbiotic issue that leaves me, the potential person. I know I'm not buying anything. Let's say I am. The attendee annoyed, the one who would be willing to spend money
Hey, at
on a
least
nice
I'm gonna
crafted
give
thing.
credit where it's due. At
Annoyed
least you
because
put
why am I
10 years
looking
in.
at a bow? The bows are everywhere. Bows are never
You know,
going away. I feel like we're
from
past the
being
bow
the age of
era,
12.
though, personally. Are bows selling well? Bow designers, are those selling well right now? I don't think they are. I feel like they're not. I feel like because we're losing the tween age, so we're losing like that like kid age. I feel like we're
true.
losing the bow era, the bow age. I've been liking the hummus I've been finding at a lot of these
That's sad,
events.
though.
Lots
Those
of
are
bakery
cute.
items are filling in at
I
makers
made
markets
so
and
many
craft fairs,
bows
I
during
feel
cheer.
like. Which I don't dislike. I just would also like to see, you know, a variety of handmade items. Yeah, a lot of people in Josie's comment sections are saying it's really hard in this economy to
Exactly.
make
At
fully
least she was
handmade items
trying.
and sell them for what they're
She
worth.
was bad
because
at
people
it, but
want
she
cheap
was
things.
putting effort in.
I don't
and
think it's
we'll give
necessarily
her,
people
we'll give
want
her
cheap
that.
things. I think people can afford
Effort was
cheap
in
things.
fact
There are
put
two
in.
issues of the same problem.
No one else can say that.
People don't have money right now. Is the combining issue. So then we
Well,
have
no
this
one else
issue
in
where
this
we have
conversation.
3D printed slop
In the sense of the
at a craft fair, which again, I know I'm just sharing
Slop
this
people.
and I'm talking
You
about my
don't.
irritation.
I'm tired.
And I'm not giving you a solution because the solution is the economy needs to get better. But I don't think the economy is going to get better
It's true.
from 3D printed dragons and quirky tumblers that come from questionable sources that say number one ka-chow. I don't know. I don't know. Limey Queen sticker on it. I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't think that's going to save the economy. Which again, I don't have an answer. It's just I'm sharing this
She's
because
so
I'm tired of seeing it. Because like I've been wanting to go in like at the very least like if I find something cool, I want to be able to be like at least post it on my story and potentially point it out to people that are willing to spend money right now. But then I go to these events and I don't find anything I like, and I find things that are actively irritating to me, and I'm like. Because I know there are independent jewelry designers out there. Like I know there are people that are doing cool pieces and
He's a
cool
baby
items
loaf.
and things like that, and designing clothing items and trying to start their own clothing lines. And then I go to these events to see if I can find any local people, and it's a lot of drop shipped items. And I hikey hate it. Now again, like I said, because of the current tariff situation, this is going to get more difficult for people to do at some point. Not even just for drop shipping items, but
Yeah,
for sourcing
exactly.
the
People
materials
just feel like they have to buy
overseas and the like outside of the
constantly, and
United
it's
States. So we'll see how this all plays out. I don't think it's going to go well.
Not.
I don't like how it's going currently. The other thing I didn't talk about here, the AI image infection of makers markets and craft fairs. There's items where it's like I think they think it's like better than tracing or something, and so they like AI generate an image of like Mickey Mouse, and then they put that on a T-shirt, and then that's what they're selling. And
Like
I'm
it's
just
not
like,
better than tracing. Actually,
hate it.
tracing would be
Ew.
preferable at that
Low-key,
point.
hope you
Like,
make no
just
money.
do
I really
the
didn't even
old
go into
ways of
that.
scamming,
But
please.
it's just, I don't
It's
know. What are your
better.
thoughts? Have you been to a lot of makers
At
markets
least
and
you
craft fairs?
did
Obviously, I'm based in
something.
LA, so I have more I can go to, but also that's going to influence the fact of like who is able to vend at these things. It's not uncommon for people out here to have multiple jobs, and therefore, you know, these could literally be people just side hobbies where they're like, I'm gonna make a lot of money selling 3D printed dragons and Game of Thrones eggs that aren't Game of Thrones eggs. Could be that. Let me know what you've seen at your makers markets or even conventions. Let me know. Comment down below. Reminder, I stream on Twitch. Reminder that Swan Entertainment is now available on Spotify.
bad.
Reminder, check out Girly Pop Go if you'd like to see more car and motorsport content. Shout out to my channel members. If you also like to join
Holy
my
shit, she
membership,
talks
join
fast.
down below. If you'd like to find on social media, that'll be all up here. That's going to have all the day. Goodbye.
Dude, she should be a fucking. One of the fucking, like, auctioneers, like, holy shit. She's fucking locked in the last 20 seconds. See, I can't watch things on 2x speed. I can't focus. Some people I do because they're slow, but other than that. Good question. Yeah, I should probably go rest for a bit before Teddy's stream. And Teddy's streaming next. And then I'm streaming again on Twitch later. So we can do... True. Okay, that's fair. I'm usually doing like 3 things at once if I'm watching a video, so that's tends to be why I don't watch in 2x speed. Okay, yeah. So we'll end a little early today for this, just because... I mean, I'm not feeling good. That's the whole reason why. I'm feeling a little less stressed in the sense that the room is now clean. So, like... Mentally, I feel better. Besides that, my back is now really hurting. I, out of habit, just ate some fucking M&Ms, and that was a really bad idea. Now my stomach hurts, and I'm more nauseous than I was before. I need to, like, hide these so I don't fucking snack on them throughout the day out of habit. And then otherwise, yeah, the headache is at least gone. Yeah, no, it's gonna make me feel worse. So, yeah, okay. But anyway, so I'll have Teddy's stream. I guess it's a little soon to put her thing up, though, is the thing. I have it set to redirect. I'm like... Okay, it'll just send you over there then. And, yeah. Okay. Well, whatever. I will just send you guys over there and you can hang out in her room and she will go live in a little while. I'll make her thing go up soon. Hello, welcome. I'm ending stream right now. I'm swapping everyone over to Teddy's stream. I'm feeling sick today, so swapping everyone over to Teddy's stream, but she'll be live in like an hour. So yes, but I will be live again on Twitch around 5:30. Okay? Yes. Okay. Should be fun. We'll play some Hello Kitty on there. Teddy's gonna draw. And actually, let me just swap back over here. Teddy's gonna draw and, I don't know, watch something. Maybe the Queen posted a new thing that actually should save that for my stream. Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, I will see you guys in like an hour. Well, Teddy will see you in like an hour, okay? Yes. This is just gonna be a very lazy day because I am dead. I'm dead. And tomorrow I will try to recover as much as possible. Hopefully I can film something on Thursday so I have something to post this week. And then Teddy's private stream, well, not private stream, but like Teddy's subscriber stream is on Thursday. And then we'll redo the private stream on Friday. So yes, yes. Yes, we are. I'm sending you over. So I will see you guys over on Teddy's in an hour. I will see you later at 5:30 on Twitch. Okay? Okay. Enjoy the outro. I will see you soon. Bye.